The only one of your podcasts I listened to was the one with Taylor. And you asked Taylor a question, he talks for 30 minutes. You got pretty good content there.
Yeah, I'm not really one of those people.
Yeah, there's Coasterbot Rambles, and then there's Taylor Rambles and Rambles and Rambles and Rambles. Logan, I'm just going to let that roll, and hopefully the battery doesn't die. And then you can
roll.
Let you guys chat. Right. I'll be kind of hanging around, but I'm letting Logan do this. I think having me in the interview doesn't add much value. So
yeah, it adds nothing.
Adds nothing, Logan says.
I mean, what?
I'm just the driver, man. I'm just the chauffeur.
Yeah.
But let this record, and but I'll be over here, Logan, if you guys need anything.
All right.
Good seeing you guys.
We always start the podcast with the same question to every guest, and that's, if you had free reign to create any coaster type with any theme, what would it be?
All right. Are you like legit asking that right now? Like, do I answer that right now? Okay. This is probably just the most random thing, just popped up to the top of my head, but probably like a coaster with Terran theming mixed up with volcano theming. I think that's a pretty good combination.
Yeah.
Just pulling the idea from Taylor, RMC Giga.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, it's probably a good, I imagine it would be very, very good, so.
Yeah.
Man, it would be cool to incorporate that volcano theming. That's a good answer. Again, very, very quick. Some people take their time, but no, you were very quick.
Knows what he wants.
Exactly.
Yeah, give me it now.
So, for people who don't know who Logan is, Logan, do you want to kind of explain a bit about who you are and what you do?
Okay, well, my name is Logan. I run the YouTube channel Coaster Kids. I make videos about roller coasters and helping other people overcome their fears. And, like, a thing that makes my channel different is, like, a lot of other YouTubers, like, just make a ton of content about themselves and just, like, make themselves money, but...
Wow.
True, though.
I hope that's not pointed at anyone directly.
Oh no, I'm trying not to point at anyone.
Okay, good.
But
carry on.
Some of my videos, like, as you could probably tell, like, about the reporters and stuff, are, like, about the other viewers, like, giving other people's perspectives about, like, all the roller coasters and stuff, instead of it just being me all the time, which I think is more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a mix of people's, views and opinions. That's what's interesting, because not everyone has the same opinion, so...
Exactly.
Especially when recently your dad did his 15 favourite roller coasters, and I think that blew a few minds. That definitely blew a few minds. Wicker Man was his top 10, so Wicker Man was his number 10. So...
Good.
Yeah.
I approve.
Yeah, well...
Jeff knows what he's doing, okay?
Oh yeah, he has the official opinion here.
Yeah,
his opinion is the only one that matters.
Very true. Very true. So there's a lot of history around your channel, and I know that you've spoken about this before on your channel, but how did you originally get into roller coasters?
I kind of just, like, started watching POV videos when I was, like, 7 years old. I have no idea why, but I just all of a sudden got super interested and just, like, did a ton of research, and I knew, like, a crap ton of stuff about roller coasters, and then in 2014, I got into roller coasters by riding Flying Ace, and then I just rode bigger and badder coasters, and here I am with 452 credits, I think. Actually, no, I'm over that.
How many credits was that?
So crazy.
It's over 450, I know that.
Jeez.
Wow.
I'm sitting on 124. Yes. Thank you.
And I'm on like 60.
So, I don't know. I haven't updated your count in a while. Yeah.
It doesn't grow much, mate. So.
No. Well, we've done a few things recently.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. So, Logan, what's your home park?
My home park is Kings Island. I go there all the time. I go to Cedar Point like 5 times a year, probably.
How many times would you say you go to Kings Island?
Oh, God, like 30? I don't know.
30? Jeez.
That's mental.
That's the dream. That is the dream.
Yeah, that park is awesome.
What's your favourite ride there, then?
Mystic Timbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good choice. I'd like to look at that one. You know, what's in the shed?
What's in the shed? Music, a projector, and weird decorations that we don't talk about.
There we go.
Yeah.
Man, so you said it, I think, previously. Was Flying Ace Aerial Chase your first coaster?
Well, that was the coaster that got me into coasters. I rode 3 other coasters that were absolutely traumatizing. Back when Planet Snoopy was Nickelodeon Universe, I rode Great Pumpkin Coaster when it was Little Bill Giggle Coaster. I rode when I was 7. When we were in Florida, I rode Goofy's Barnstormer and Journey to Atlantis, and yeah, hated it. Absolutely awful. Regretted it.
Some rides just aren't good for anyone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know? So I think that's what it's all about, really. Zoe didn't really like rides, but she'd been on Colossus at Thorpe Park.
I think this is what messes you up, though, when you go on rides that are really bad, but you obviously don't know because that's the only ride you've been on. So you just assume they're all bad, but they're not.
Yeah, so you have to start with the right ride, or if you start badly, you need to at least try some others. But as you said, Zoe, people just don't. So talking about favourites, what's your favourite theme park and ride as of right now?
My favorite coaster is still Vengeance at Cedar Point, obviously, and my favorite amusement park right now is Phantasialand because the coasters aren't as good as Cedar Point, but I just had like a better experience there. Like the theming is way better, and Terran and Black Mamba and Widjas. Like I can't think of a bad coaster at Phantasialand.
Temple of the Nighthawk. That is not a good coaster. Anyone who likes that, anyone who's a fan, like in that fan club for that ride, should not be.
I don't even know what you said.
Temple of the Nighthawk.
Oh, Temple of the Nighthawk.
Yeah.
The ride that gets worse the longer you go on it for, and it's already like too long.
Oh my gosh.
This sucks, boy.
It's a waste of space.
Ride. Yeah, no, but you're definitely right. Phantasialand is a fantastic park. It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, beautiful. It's so beautiful. Holy crap.
And especially with, you know, stuff like Fly, that's going to blow people's minds when it opens, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
So I think that park really needs a new coaster as to expand, and it's exactly what they're getting. So can't argue with that. Have you got a favorite kind of ride that isn't a roller coaster? Difficult question.
I really love drop towers. I could ride those all day. Some Gerstlauer Skyflies I really like. Some of them suck because they're so stiff. It's so hard to get rotation. But when I get them to flip a ton, it's so fun.
It is. That model I really like just because of how versatile it is. You know, if you don't like it, you can just sit back and kind of spin.
Like me.
Then enjoy the ride. Whee!
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to, you know, pass out like I nearly did on the one at Lisa Berg.
Lisa Berg.
We don't know how to say that.
I don't think anyone knows how to say it.
Yeah, no one does.
No, but Aerospin at Liseberg. Did you try that one?
Aerospin.
It's the Gerstlauer Sky Roller.
I did. I got no rotation.
No.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea how.
I was doing more than a revolution a second.
It was bad.
It was windy, and up there with the wind
Oh my gosh.
was mental.
That seems insane.
I was pulling like some hefty G's to the point where I started to like... I agree though, they are good rides. Definitely good rides. So what about moving forwards? What do you have a bucket list of theme parks and rides you'd like to get to on?
Well, I'd say my number one bucket list coaster is probably DC Rivals. It just looks insane.
Yes.
And one of my bucket list parks is probably Ferrari World because that park just looks insane. Like, apart from the coasters, that it just looks like super fun to visit.
I agree. I think that's going to be... I think someone asked the question. We'll get to that later. But
oh boy.
Yeah, no, Ferrari Land World even. It does look good, and I think that's a park to potentially watch moving forwards because they've had a coaster being built quotation marks for so long. Like, what is it? Ferrari?
I don't know what it was.
Oh, it's meant to be some sort of like roller coaster that has a load of trick tracks on it. And it just hasn't opened. I think it was meant to open 2016. But yeah, no, Formula Rossa looks insane.
Yeah, I've heard from some people that Flying Aces is better, which is kind of reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, it looks less gimmicky, really, doesn't it? But
yeah,
I imagine both of them are still pretty awesome coasters.
Yeah, they seem awesome.
And there's something to be said about riding the world's fastest roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Gotta do it.
Yeah. But talking of trips, you recently as in 6 months ago, came over to Europe. Can you remember all of the parks that you visited? Could you list them off?
Okay. So first we went to Spain and we went to Parque Warner, Parque de Attracciones, Portaventura, and Ferrari Land. And then we went to Italy and went to Mirabilandia and Gardaland. And we went to Germany and went to Europa Park, Tripsdrill, Holiday Park, Phantasialand. And we went up to the Netherlands after that, and then went to Toverland, Efteling, and then met up with you in Amsterdam, and then took you to Walibi Holland, and went back to Germany and went to Heidi Park and Hansa Park.
Yep.
And then went to Grunelund, Comartin, and Liseberg, and and then
good
went to Thor Park, Alton Towers, and Blackpool.
Wow.
Mate.
It's such a trip.
That's tough.
It's mental. And you did most of that, well, like all of those parks were back to back at least.
Yeah. So some of the parks we went to for 2 days, like Alton Towers and Europa Park.
Yeah. What a mental trip. Absolutely mental. You went with Taylor and Chad, so Taylor of Coaster Studios and then Chad from Ohio Valley Coasters.
Yep. And you went to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parks with us?
I did, yeah. It was all of the UK parks and then Walibi Holland, Heidi Park, and Hansa Park.
Yeah.
Had to go to Hansa Park for one reason only.
Yeah, only the shredded cannon.
What a ride, man.
It's insane.
So, someone asked the question, Unknown Soldier. He says, where does Karnan rank for you?
Where does Karnan rank for me in my top 25? For sure top 15, maybe top 10. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy ride.
Yeah, no, absolutely mental. Everything about that ride is just insane. It's, I remember looking at it for the first time and just going, wow. I just couldn't wait to ride it.
Every time he talks about Karnan, his face lights up.
Because it's
Every
good.
time.
It's a good coaster.
So
really
is
good.
Karnan officially your number one?
Oh, yeah, definitely. By quite a significant margin, I'd say.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was number 2 that was the difficulty.
Yes, I had to choose between Helix and Terran.
Oh gosh, I would choose Terran over Helix.
Yeah, I know Taylor doesn't like Helix that much. What do you think about it?
The launches, they're forceless, like holy crap.
Yeah.
But the airtime is so good, and all the inversions. It's just a fun ride.
Exactly.
It really is.
Yeah.
That ride is designed stupidly well. Like.
I know.
The elements, one after the other, are so perfectly chained together.
Yeah, like the perfect combination.
Yeah, you've just got to appreciate that. The launches are pretty terrible, but saying that, after riding, can you remember riding Flug von Novgorod?
I remember that. That was an awesome ride.
That launch
launch was intense. Oh my god.
It just blows every other LSM launch out the window. It's like, whoa.
Exactly.
It's like getting punched by like a brick, like hit by a brick wall.
Like I remember like actually being scared of the launch, like because it was so powerful.
It is, yeah. So when I rode Terran, I was kind of expecting that, and then I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
But still a very good ride. The only thing that kills Terran for me is the trims.
Oh, rip.
I don't know. It's, just ruin it. Just sad. It's close to being such a fantastic, like, overall thing, but then they add the trims at the end and it just derails it for me.
I don't even remember the trims at the end.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember where they're at.
The final, like, 2 airtime hills.
Oh, yeah.
Little bunny hills.
Oh, yeah, those 2 airtime hills. Okay, got it.
I don't know if you got airtime on those, but we definitely didn't at all.
I might have gotten a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure how well it was running on the day that we went, so.
He's done too many coasters now.
I know. He just remembers the great ones. You know,
Yeah.
The best of the best. There's no need for the petty European rides.
Yeah,
It's all
yeah.
about steel of vengeance.
The old vengeance boy.
Exactly. So we've got loads of questions about the Europe trip, naturally, because it's such a big trip, and there was lots of recording and footage going on, lots of videos being made. Everyone had their own videos, and yeah, loads of questions. So someone called Alex asked, what was the best moment of the European trip for you?
For sure, one of the best moments of the trip was meeting you. It was
too
amazing.
kind. Yeah, no, it was. It's very cool.
Yeah.
It was incredibly surreal.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, it did not feel real at all.
No,
just
no, it
you in the car sitting next to us, like,
Yep.
whoa.
I know. It's
Absolutely mental.
Yep. But we got used to it, I think, pretty quickly.
Yeah, we did. Mostly.
That was cool. I think one of the highlights for me was, I mean, I only did like 6 of the parks, but Wallaby Holland and how great Scott was with us.
Oh yeah, Scott was amazing.
Going, backstage for Robin Hood and Goliath was pretty surreal.
Yeah, it definitely improved our experience for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like all the parks should have done something like that,
Yeah,
I don't know why
especially
they
Heidi Park.
Yeah, Heidi Park didn't do anything.
It just makes it better though, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, of course it does, because you know that they've gone out of their way to kind of make you have a better day, and
Yeah, for sure.
makes you think better of the park.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So how do you say it? Rickelmen Pictures.
Rickelmen Pictures.
Yeah, he says what was the most surprising park of the trip?
Most surprising park of the trip. That's a tough one. What is the most surprising is Alton Towers, because I did not expect it to be that good. I just love how all the coasters are super far spread apart, so it doesn't really feel like an amusement park. Definitely exceeded my expectations.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah,
It's a good choice.
you're welcome.
Yeah. No, I think it seemed that you guys really did have a great time at Towers. I mean, we did as well.
Yeah.
That was some of the best
That was
2 days.
probably the highlight for me.
Yeah,
Just going for the UK ones, that was the best one.
Yeah, Towers was a great park.
Some of the best 2 days we've had at Towers, easily.
Yeah, definitely.
Great to see, yourselves, but then people like Sean and Alex. They met up with Dean and
Yeah.
A lot of people.
lots of people.
A lot of people came out to that one as well, just to meet up. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the only reason those people came.
I don't think so. I don't think I was the reason. I think you
No, I think
two
it
were
was
the
more
reason.
No,
you
I
guys,
was fun
yeah.
with Zoe.
Oh, me? Oh, definitely me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
They're like, we got to meet Zoe.
Yeah, everyone meet Zoe.
Oh, there's another question about surprising things. Peter said, most surprising coaster on the trip. He said, could be surprising from how bad it is or how good it is.
The coaster that surprised me from how bad it was for sure Steeplechase. Holy crap, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a ride.
The most surprising coaster for me was probably Fluch von Novgorod.
I agree. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was, but it doesn't look like a lot, but then it really is a lot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It packs the punch. The launch is insane. The drop after the lift hill in completely pitch black is...
Yeah, that whole
mental.
indoor section, that's awesome.
Yeah, those steeplechase is one janky ride.
Exactly. I have no idea why I wanted to ride all 3 of those, but
I know.
I gotta get those credits.
It's true. It's true.
It's a requirement.
It's insane how that ride still exists.
I know.
In the health and safety of today.
Exactly. Yeah, why? Surely they're not allowed to do that.
I know
that
it
cool,
has
isn't
to be illegal.
Yeah, just get rid of it.
The park's so old, it doesn't matter now. It's too
Yeah,
late.
true. What else have we got here? Ollie says, favourite ride in the UK and favourite ride at Alton Towers.
Favorite ride in the UK was definitely Darren Brown's Ghost Train. It still just surprises me thinking about it. And favorite ride at Alton Towers. Oh gosh, what was my favorite? Oh, there's so many good rides there.
I'm just like, say Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, probably Wicker Man actually.
Good.
Wicker Man is good. As an overall package. It's
Yeah, especially
definitely-
the statue of Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's top notch.
Yeah,
We should
Top-notch theming.
we should talk about Darren Brown's Ghost Train though, because
we better.
people in the UK don't appreciate this ride.
Holy crap.
They think because it breaks down a lot, they're like, oh, it's not that good. But then when you think about what it's actually doing, it's insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
I think the problem that most UK people face is they'd been on it before it was kind of
Ready.
fixed in a way. Yeah. Whereas when you guys rode it, when you rode it, Logan, you had a perfect run. Everything worked smoothly. You were in the prime position to see everything. And when it happens like that, it's a fantastic ride, as you said.
Oh yeah, I did not expect it to be that good. Like, I was like, yeah, fine, let's just go to Dan Brown's Ghost Train. Because I knew absolutely nothing about it. I forgot it even existed.
Yeah, if you look at the park from, online, it's not really, I wouldn't say one of the standout things if you don't know much about it.
Yeah, it does not really stand out when you don't know what it is.
Would you say that's one of the best VR kind of rides you've been on?
Oh yeah, the best VR ride I've been on, for sure. Considering the VR actually worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's a decent quality as well. It's not like...
Yeah, it's very good quality.
Good enough quality to scare me.
Yeah.
Oh
to scare
yeah,
many
it scared
people.
me for sure.
So bad.
Very spoopy ride.
Yeah.
Incredibly spoopy.
Yeah.
What else have we got here? What was your favourite flat ride on the Europe trip?
Favorite flat ride on the Europe trip. So some of the Gerstlauer Skyflies I really liked, like the one at Holiday Park. Holy crap, that was awesome. I'm trying to think of a really good one I went on. Probably, I forgot what the drop tower was called, but the one similar to Falcon's Fury, the one at Groenland.
Yeah, Icarus or like something like that. Yeah, I know what the one you were talking about. That looks really cool.
I mean, that park is a drop tower buffet, so like...
Let's talk about that part really quickly. What's it? How would you describe it? Because it seems like such a weird kind of place.
Well, like, it just feels so different because all of the rides and roller coasters are, like, so close together. Like, you see a drop tower going, and then you see Jetline going, and then you see Twister, and then you see Insane. It's just... Gosh, that's wild.
Yeah, a stupidly dense park, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, it definitely looks like something else. And I know Blackpool is quite dense in terms of rides, but
Yeah.
Groenland seems to be like
Even
another
though there was
level.
only one good coaster.
This is true. The big one is okay, but
I thought you were going to say the big one is like the coaster.
no.
Oh no, Icon is the
Yeah,
only
yeah.
coaster there.
Definitely. Icon is by far like stupid amounts better than every
Yeah.
other coaster. in that
Icon is
park.
the icon of the park.
Oh, definitely.
Well, not really, because everyone in the UK knows the big one. Like,
Yeah, oh yeah,
Is-
like the big one is like the most known.
yeah, definitely.
How do you say this? Zete? I don't know. People need to have usernames that we can read, you know? Which ride disappointed you the most? As in, which ride did you come in with fairly high expectations and ended up not being as good as you wanted it to be?
Well, one of the most disappointing was probably Big One because, like, I don't know where I heard good opinions from.
I had a review on, and it had good opinions in.
Huh. I don't know if I watched that.
Yeah, well, this is it.
That's probably the only one I can think of. The most disappointing for sure was Balder. Like, I expected it to have way more airtime because, like, it's been prefab, like...
We love that ride.
It really sounds like the day that you went to Liseberg was a terrible day for that park.
Yeah.
Like, me and Zoe
Or we
thought...
just had a great day, I don't know.
Yeah, me and Zoe thought Boulder had loads of
We
airtime.
loved it.
Every hill except for the first one was ejector, and the first one was consistent floater.
Yeah.
Whoa. They were
Yeah.
all just, like, the best floater ever, but...
No, it was pure ejector every row, every hill except for the first one.
Yeah, it just felt very repetitive, like airtime,
It is.
turn, airtime, turn, going like 50
Yeah.
miles an hour.
Yeah,
I think
definitely
though, because there was so much airtime, we didn't mind that it was repetitive because we were just like, again.
Yeah.
Again, more barely any airtime. Yay.
I found the front row on that thing was insane, just because
man.
you'd be halfway down the drop before you started picking up speed.
Yeah.
So you just end up looking down this like 70-degree drop. And you're like, whoa. It's awesome.
It's a crazy ride.
It is. But going back to the big one really quick, I think that's a ride that is really inconsistent. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's awful. And I feel like the day that you went, it was awful.
Oh, it was awful.
Yeah.
Even the second to back row was awful. That's how you know it's bad. Well, when the magic seat is bad.
Yeah. No, you are right. It was running terribly that day, which is really kind of unfortunate because when it runs well, it's never like fantastic, but it's fun and good when it runs well, which is a bit of a shame, but
Like it does look like a pretty good ride, like, but
well, the layout is hot garbage. There's no airtime on that thing at all. It's people joke that it's a monorail, and it literally is a very fast monorail.
A super fast monorail. Super fast and bumpy monorail.
Yeah, definitely.
There's one more for Europe trip. Coastertopia says, "What is your opinion of speed of sound at Wallaby?" They said you rode it next to me, but I never really heard your opinion. I don't know if you remember who that was.
I'm not sure if it was the best boomerang. Like, it was super well done. I thought the concept was, like, amazing with, like, that tunnel and the music playing throughout the ride. But it was just, like, so shaky. And, like, even though it had, like, the Vekoma vest restraints so you don't get headbanging, it was just still, like, I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
As you said, I think the music was pretty good with the tunnel. I like the way that they synced up the music to the drop. I like that. But yeah, no, it's still a boomerang. So
yeah, it's a boomerang.
it's nothing fantastic. It's better than your bog standard boomerang, but still.
Okay, now we have some questions that are just general. T-Mode 87 says, at any time, what coaster most frightened you?
The coaster that most frightened me was, I already said it, but Journey to Atlantis at SeaWorld Orlando. That was mortifying. Absolutely hated it.
What about it? What was it that scared you so much?
Well, I was 7 at the time, so, like, I was not ready to ride roller coasters whatsoever, so just everything about it was just, like, too spooky for me.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember riding it, because I rode that when I went to, Disney World back in, 2007. I can't remember anything, though. It's got some dark ride bits, hasn't it? Some indoor,
Oh, yeah, it does have some, like, indoor roller coaster elements.
Yeah.
And that first drop, that was for sure the most scary part, because I thought it was, like, a vertical drop.
Yeah.
Well, like, it felt one at the time.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure, when you're 7, I'm sure it does.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything seems like a vertical drop.
Yeah. It's mental to think back, like...
Exactly.
When you were that young, you didn't like them at all. And now here you are, having ridden, 400 roller coasters, or more than 400.
Yeah, in only, 3 years. That's a pretty fast...
That's crazy.
That's very quick. Yeah.
0 to 100 real quick.
Can you remember each milestone? So your 100th coaster, 200, 300, and 400.
Okay, my 100th was Great White because I didn't know what coaster to make it, and we were at Morris Piers, so I decided, well, I don't want it to be a boomerang or a Pinfari, so why not just ride Great White? And I did not like it. It's just so rough. And my 200th was Outlaw Run. That was a very good experience because some of the people who are working at the park rode with me and gave me a certificate and a ton of goodies from the park and stuff like that. So that they treated me very well. And my 300th was Gold Striker at California's Great America, which fantastic GCI. Not my favorite, but it was very good. And my 400th was Flugder de Monin because Colossus was closed. I was very upset.
Well, at least it wasn't Limit. My 100th was Limit, wasn't it? at Heidi Park.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I'm quite the veteran of SLCs now.
Yeah.
Great.
How many SLCs have you written now? Like 8 or 9?
I think it's 7 or 8, something like that.
Jeez.
And quite a few of them are like not standard layouts as well.
You're a lucky man.
I am.
Yeah, very lucky.
It's all about those SLCs rather than the B&M inverts, I find, you know?
Yeah,
so much better.
SLC's so much superior.
It's just where it's at, really. Come on.
Yeah,
You
like that's the good stuff.
Yeah. What about your 500 then? Have you got any plans to make it anything, or is he just going to kind of see?
I'm just gonna like see what it is. I don't know. I'm not that far away from it.
No.
But I don't know what I'm gonna make it yet.
Fair enough.
Choose more questions. So Jamie says, what overseas trip do you want to do next?
I'm not 100% sure when this is gonna happen. Definitely not 2019. But eventually we're gonna go to Abu Dhabi and Dubai and hit up Ferrari World and Six Flags Dubai if that's open at the time.
Nice.
Harry, do you know anything about the Six Flags Dubai construction? Like, has it happened yet, or?
I've got no idea. I am literally. I don't really keep track of things.
I don't know if anybody knows.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. But I'm sure that trip would be awesome. There's a lot of parks, you know, in Abu Dhabi and Dubai now.
Yeah, and eventually, well, we might go to Australia to like, obviously hit up Movie World and Dream World, but there's just like so much to see in Australia, like so many tourist attractions. So like, I'm definitely not gonna go to Australia just for theme parks. Like that's insane.
No, I definitely agree. I think there's a lot to see in many different places, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Gust, talking about Asia, Gust asks, what's your biggest bucket list park in Asia? So would it be one of the ones that you mentioned, or is it one, say, like in China, or?
I already said this, but probably Ferrari World. Cause, wow.
Yeah.
And plus, I can't really think of much.
No, I think you don't really often hear about most of the Asian parks, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
So
I barely know any.
yeah, if you're not actively looking into it, then I mean, there's a lot of development going on in China as well. So many like new parks and new coasters popping up. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I really want to hit the knockoff Chinese SLCs.
Oh. No, those look awful.
I know.
They actually break bones, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, break.
Jeez. And you see that one of those videos where it just overshoots the brake run completely through the station and rejoins the lift hill? It's like, okay, that's not how you build a coaster. Yep, the brakes don't work. It just goes all the way through.
Gosh. Jeez.
So bad. And then you've got the Golden Horse dive machine, which it's funny because it's the drop has like B&M track, and then as soon as it starts to go left or right, it turns into like some Intamin box track.
Oh my gosh.
Why would you have two track styles? It's like...
That's weird.
Yeah.
Wow. That's weird.
It's literally like, okay, we want to make it look like a B&M, but we don't know how to make B&M track turn left or right, so we're just going to make it other track instead.
Yeah, let's just hit up Intamin.
Yeah, it's weird. Some of those
okay, so
odd.
Intamin is the ugly part, so let's just keep that at the bottom. And and just make the drop the only part you can see so people think it's B&M.
Yeah.
The more people ride it.
Exactly. That's how you build a coaster right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of building coasters, Raptor Gardaland, nice name, said, if you would own a park, what would be the first coaster you would buy and why?
The first coaster I would build, I wouldn't start off with anything big, so probably just start off with like maybe one of those mini gravity group coasters like Kentucky Flyer or Oscar's Wacky Taxi, because like they're probably not too hard to make, and yeah, that's probably what I would start off with.
Nice.
I think that's a solid one to start off with, really.
Yeah.
It's a coaster for everyone, not too expensive.
Exactly.
But
He's got
thrilling
his
enough.
business mind in gear.
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, be
Would
ready.
you theme it?
Coming soon. Whoa, what'd you say?
Would you theme it?
Would I theme it? Well, it would probably be American, so probably not.
Fair enough.
Actually, no, have it with the Pterodon volcano theming I was talking about earlier.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Just build a massive volcano and have this tiny wooden coaster at the bottom of it.
Have the coaster inside the volcano.
Perfect. Problem solved.
Instant money. Let's go.
Instant money.
Yeah.
Jammy Jambo says, what's the best experience you had in the 2018 season?
Best experience I had, well, probably the European trip, because like that was just like a huge part of it. We like did so much, and also having Taylor and Chad and you involved, it just made it a lot better in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Fan and Jake says, which coaster do you rate as the worst themed?
The worst themed coaster, probably Dominator or Nitro, because those
Nitro.
Nitro, no theming.
For context, though, Nitro, basically Six Flags Magic Mountain, they needed more land, so they just used part of the car park, part of the parking lot.
Oh, I think you should.
Oh yeah, and
And
Scream.
And it's, oh yeah, that's what I meant, Scream even. That's probably the worst one. But yeah, no, it still has the white lines underneath. Like,
Oh, wow.
it's still literally a car park.
I know.
Absolutely mental. So from worst to best, what manufacturer would you say has the best looking track, asked by Amusement Park Crazy?
The best looking track, I would probably say B&M has the best looking track, and the worst looking track, oh gosh, I can't think of like a bad looking track. I mean like Arrow and Vekoma. Actually just like probably Pinfari, because it's just so basic.
Yeah. I have to agree though, B&M's track is really kind of distinctive and
Yeah, for sure.
almost iconic now in
Yeah.
Pretty much.
its design. And because no one else really uses it, so it's not like you can get confused with
Except
other...
for Guy Vanola.
Well, this is true.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that.
No, we don't. There's only a few coasters that are like that anyway, so...
Yeah, true.
But yeah, no, definitely B&M, very beautiful looking creations. Pretty much everything they do looks pretty...
Amazing looking coasters.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. These are some like random questions that aren't really much to do about coasters.
Okay.
How do you say this person's name? Anyway, someone asked, what's your favorite meme?
That is like the hardest question to answer because like saying your favorite meme is like asking what's your favorite kid. Like jeez, how do you even come up with that? Like how do you come up with an answer for that? Like holy crap.
Do you have, maybe not a favorite, but a meme that is up there for you? You know, one of the best for you.
One of the best memes for me. Honestly, I can't really think of one right now. I don't know what's happening.
It's a tough question. I mean, there's many a meme out there.
Very tough. Can you think of your favorite meme? Or wait.
Honestly, no. It's so hard.
There's too many memes. I feel like that's an unfair question. We'll just rule that one out.
Yeah, that's unfair.
Mikey asks, who do you look up to?
Who do I look up to?
It's a deep question.
I'm looking at him right now. My dad.
Aww.
Aw,
Yeah, he's very supportive.
definitely he is. I have to agree.
Yeah, number one.
Jeff's a great guy. I know. Hopefully, he can hear us.
We all look up to you, Jeff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And obviously you, Harry.
Well,
You didn't have to do that. But thank you.
Oh no, I'm serious. I actually do.
It's very kind. I try my best. You know.
Louis
Mann asked, would you want Hollywood to make a movie about you?
No, that would probably turn out terrible. Cause it's like, I don't know what kind of stuff they would put in the movie about me. Like, here's a kid riding coasters.
Yeah, just lots of clips of you riding roller coasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It would sell, I feel.
Yeah.
Katie says, if you weren't a coaster enthusiast, what else would you be interested in?
If I wasn't a coaster enthusiast, I'd probably just like find a random hobby and just go with it. I like doing like flips on trampolines and stuff because it's just like fun to do, and there's not that many people who do it.
That's cool.
Do you go to those like trampoline places? Oh, you do actually, because I think I've seen.
Oh, the one where the whole floor's a trampoline.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very cool. I kind of like to go, but now I'm like 20, I feel like I can't go. I'm a bit too old to go trampolining.
Go.
They have adult nights, don't they?
Oh,
I think
yeah.
they have evenings.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Better
for
book
sure.
one. Get on that. Start doing some backflips on the
but
trampolines.
pretty much anyone can go anyway. So like,
Yeah, well, I just feel a bit too old if there was like 10-year-olds bouncing and just me. Just in
Just
the
the
middle
tall
going,
boy.
yes,
yes,
here I am.
we made it. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Golden State Coaster says, favorite non-coaster YouTubers.
Favorite non-coaster YouTuber? That's a pretty tough one, cause I don't really watch that much. I can't really think of a non-coaster YouTuber, but like my favorite coaster YouTubers are like obviously Taylor, CoasterBot, obviously. Ohio Valley Coasters, Coaster Force, yeah.
Surprisingly, I don't really watch that much theme park content anymore on YouTube. I used to be really into it, but then as I've started making it, I kind of I end up watching
from it, I guess.
Yeah, I end up watching other stuff.
Like
But
I used to watch a ton of POV videos, but I don't really watch that much anymore because just like
You're riding them for real now.
exactly. So like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Unless it's DC Rivals, then
Well, yeah, but you always have to look at coasters that you can't ride.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you have to.
You
You
just
have to dream.
Exactly.
The Thrillist said, what are you going to do with your channel when you aren't a kid anymore?
I don't really have any plans. Well, like I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing now and just see what happens. Pretty much.
I feel like you could still keep it the same.
And yeah, I'll probably keep it the same. Just keep it the same as long as I can.
And then also, Coaster Boy 2 says, what was your inspiration for making the channel?
My inspiration for making the channel, but probably all the coaster YouTubers. I used to watch like all of the POV YouTubers and Taylor, cause like those were the only coaster YouTubers I watched. So I was like, hey, might as well. I can do that.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Same for me. It's just watching other people's stuff and going, this looks interesting. I might give it a go.
Yeah, exactly.
So Taylor's been around for so long. When you think about
I know.
it's crazy.
It's insane.
I mean, so have we now. It's like what, 3.5
I
years
guess.
for you?
Oh yeah. For
more?
mine, it's been about 3.5 years. I started on March 22nd, 2015.
I started on the 19th of July, 2015.
What is Nemesis at Alton Towers?
The worst video I've ever made. That's what it is.
Oh,
It
wow.
sucks. It's such a bad video.
Is it still on there?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I should probably remake it, but
No, don't remake it.
it's too iconic now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too iconic. Like, you would ruin it.
Yeah.
I'd ruin it by making a better one.
Yeah.
I mean, any sequel to anything in the world is terrible anyway.
It's true. It's true. It's a fact.
Yeah, well-known fact.
So what about channel-wise for you? What's coming up next? What's the next big thing for Coaster Kids?
I'm not really sure about the... Oh, yeah.
You got the new
Oh,
woolly
yeah, the
hats
new
and-
winter merch. I like the... The beanies seem to be selling way more than the caps, because, like, why wear caps to an amusement park? They're just gonna fly off anyway, so, like, what's the point? Oh, yeah. Well, we're also gonna be selling pins to, like, put on your bag or your shirt. Those aren't gonna be limited time, so you can just buy them whenever you want.
Okay, so people can go grab one of them then.
Exactly. I'm not 100% sure when we're gonna release them, but it'll be pretty soon.
And you can find all of those on coasterkids.com.
Yeah, coasterkids.com. Thank you for plugging it for me.
It's okay.
Harry loves a plug.
This is true. Where else can we find you? So you're on Facebook?
Oh yeah,
Coaster
I'm
Kids.
also on Facebook, Instagram, I have you added on Snapchat. Snapchat for me is more like personal. Like I have some of my more personal friends added. And obviously YouTube. Not many people know that, obviously.
Oh, yeah, well.
And my email is coasterkidsohio@gmail.com. So, yeah.
There you go. Follow or subscribe or like all of those different, accounts. I'm sure if you type in Coaster Kids, you'll find them all. So
yeah, pretty much.
Make sure to do that. And finally, to end this episode of the podcast, we've got one final question that we ask all the guests. Same question. And it is, if you had to pick one coaster to be your last ride ever, what would it be?
My last ride ever. Oh my gosh. Probably just Steel Vengeance because, like, it's the best. Might as well end it off with an awesome one.
You know it's good. You love it the most right now. So I guess that, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just the best. Might as well end off your coaster career with the best possible one.
This is very true. This is very true. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any more? That's it, right?
That's it, yeah. Do you want to plug our stuff?
Oh, yeah. So follow us on Twitter, CBR Podcast. Stay tuned for questions, etc. And yeah, you can also find us on YouTube and give us an iTunes rating. Some people before did what Harry said and wrote this podcast is cool. So if everyone could just write that, all the reviews are just going to say the same thing. That would be funny.
This time you need to write 5-star review.
Oh, I will.
I enjoyed this one because of Logan. That's what you're going to put the review.
Okay, and then we'll know, yeah.
And then we'll know. 5 stars.
Yeah,
I enjoyed this one because of Logan.
Okay.
Get on that.
Get on that.
Yeah, you have to write that. That's the only possible response.
Exactly.
just have it autofill. 5 stars. I enjoyed this podcast because of Logan. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one of your podcasts I listened to was the one with Taylor. And you asked Taylor a question, he talks for 30 minutes. You got pretty good content there.
Yeah, I'm not really one of those people.
Yeah, there's CoasterBot Rambles, and then there's Taylor Rambles and Rambles and Rambles and Rambles.
Yeah.